Hello everyone, myself Dr. Ehtisham Khan, and today our seminar topic is medical emergencies in dental practice. Now, contents of my seminar are what a definition of emergency, introduction, classification of life-threatening situations, prevention, preparation. Preparation consists of two portions, that is basic life support, and main thing in this is emergency drugs and equipments, and last is emergency management. uh, other other things which we got in our dental office are unconscious patients are syncope, postural hypotension, acute adrenal insufficiency, respiratory diseases, respiratory distress, that is airway obstruction, hyperventilation, asthma, seizures. Conclusion, references. Now we'll first start with definition of emergency. A sudden, urgent, usually unexpected occurrence of occasion requiring immediate action. It could be life-threatening also. Emergency situations can broadly divided into two portions, that is stress-related, and one is pre-existing condition by exacerbated stress. Other things are drug-related. Drug-related. Now, introduction. Managing emergency situation in oral and maxillofacial surgery office can be frightening experience at best. However, this experience can quickly turn into a catastrophe if doctor and his staff are not adequately prepared. When you prepare for an emergency, for the emergency cease to exist. Now, classification of life-threatening situations. These are mainly classified as non-cardiovascular emergency and cardiovascular emergency. These are the contents of non-cardiovascular emergency and cardiovascular emergency. Other classification is based on clinical signs and symptoms: unconsciousness, vasopressor syncope, orthostatic hypotension, acute adrenal insufficiency, respiratory difficulty, airway obstruction, hyperventilation, asthma, heart failure and acute pulmonary edema, altered consciousness, hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia, hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. Seizure disorders, drug-related emergency situations, which are allergy, drug overdose reactions, chest pain, angina pectoris, acute myocardial infarction, and cardiac arrest. Now, prevention. Prevention mainly consists of case history part. That is, first we will go for physical evaluation, which consists of medical history questionnaire, physical examination, dialogue history. Second is psychological examination, which consists of medical history questionnaire, anxiety questionnaire, observation. Now we'll come for preparation part. More patient will do well when you act than when you don't act. Now we'll have in prevention part we'll have role of dentist, other office staff, emergency drugs and equipment. All these things play an important role. Now staff training should include basic life support training for all members of dental office staff, training in the recognition and management of specific emergency situations. Second one is office preparation should include posting emergency assistant members, stocking emergency drugs and equipments. Now, basic life support. We mainly consist of PACBD. P for position. Position is mainly concerned with supine position of the patient. A for airway, B for breathing, C for circulation, and D for defibrillation. Now, positioning of the patient by placing him in supine position. Check for unresponsiveness. We will shake his shoulder and ask him, "Are you alright, sir?" If he will not respond, then we will call for 108. Airway. Opening of airway and restoration of breathing are the most basic and important steps in basic life support. If his chin is downwards, then we will lift his chin upwards with the help of index finger. Here we can see, while tilting the head up, we are clearing the airway. We can also go for jaw thrust also. This is a technique in which what we do, we just hold the angle of the mandible and the corner of the mouth with the with our thumb, and just and just forcefully open patient's mouth and pull his tongues downwards, so that the airway should be as much clear as possible. Now oropharyngeal airway, these are the artificial or nasopharyngeal airway. These are the artificial pipes which are available in the market, which we can use for artificial airway system. Endotracheal tube intubation, which we do with the help of laryngoscope. We insert the tube directly into the trachea. Endotracheal tube comes in different numbers. That for male is 7.0, 7.5, 8.0. Female is 6.0, 6.5, 7.0, 7.5. Now breathing. Assess airway patency and breathing. After head tilt, chin lift, assess patency of the airway. Look, listen and feel for breathing. In the above given diagram, we can appreciate the person is trying to listen and feel for breathing. Now if the breathing is not present, then we can go for mouth to mouth breathing, mouth to nose breathing. Here we can appreciate in the diagram the position. We can appreciate pocket mask breathing. Diagram of the pocket mask breathing is given here. Atmospheric air ventilation, which we also called as ambu bag. O2 enriched ventilation. Now circulation. Assess circulation. Assess a large artery like carotid. No pulse. Initiate external chest compressions. Here we can appreciate the person is trying to check the carotid artery. If response is not, if there is no response, then we will go for chest compressions. Here we can see it consists of rhythmic applications of pressure over the lower half of the sternum. This increases blood flow by increased intrathoracic pressure and direct compression of the heart. Here we can appreciate the position of the operator, how he locks his elbow in the position with the arm straightened. Now D4 is defibrillation. It's a simple machine which can be used. Emergency drugs. Mainly there are routes of drug. These are endotracheal, intravenous, sublingual or intramuscular. Depending on the situation, we can decide which type of route we have to go. Now there are 4 modules of these emergency drugs. Module 1, basic emergency kit. Module 2, non-critical drugs and equipments. Module 3, advanced cardiac life support. Module 4, antidotal drugs, like which we get means antidotal means from which the drug overdose is happening. We can give antidote for him. In each module we have injectable and non-injectable drugs. Module 1, injectable drugs are epinephrine and antihistamine. Non-injectable are oxygen and vasodilators. Emergency equipments are oxygen delivery system, suction tapes, syringe, Magel intubation, forceps. Module 2, injectable drugs. List of the drugs are given below. Non-injectable drugs: respiratory stimulant, anti-hypoglycemic, bronchodilator. Emergency equipments. Module 3, essential ACLS drugs include. These are the 7 drugs. Module 4, narcotic antagonists, benzodiazepine antagonists, anti-emergence delirium drugs and vasodilators. Now we'll one by one we'll describe all the medical equipments we generally used to have in our dental clinics. First is epinephrine, the most important emergency drugs. Indication: 1:1000, 1 milligram per ml in threatening acute allergic conditions. It can be given either intramuscular or subcutaneous. In management of acute asthma and cardiac arrest also we can use this. Chlorpheniramine,
Alternative drug diphenhydramine in management of allergic conditions 3 to 4 1 ml ampoules 10 mg per ml. Trade name is Ceziran. Nitroglycerin available both as spray and tab in management of angina and myocardial infarction. Albuterol potent bronchodilator in acute asthma. Attacks and allergic reactions with bronchospasm. Trade name is Asthalin. Ventrolin. Orange juice in hypoglycemia. In unconscious condition 50% dextrose 30 ml. IV or glucagon 1 mg per ml. IM intramuscular. Aspirin. Antiplatelet action in management of unstable angina or myocardial infarction. Trade name is Ecosporin, Myosporin. Midazolam, it is an anticonvulsant. Alternative drug is diazepam, used to treat prolonged seizures, hyperventilation. Trade name is Mizolam, Midosed. Morphine, used in intense myocardial infarction, 10 mg per ml injection, intravenous or intramuscular. Trade name is morphine sulfate. Hydrocortisone sodium succinate in management of acute allergic conditions and in treatment of acute adrenal insufficiency. Trade name is Cort-S, Vicort. Atropine, anticholinergic, used to treat bradycardia. Aromatic anomia, respiratory stimulant. It has a noxious odor and irritates the mucous membrane. Used in vasodepressor syncope and in respiratory depression. Emergency equipments mainly consist of oxygen delivery system, high suction device and suction tips, disposable syringes, Magel intubation forceps, which we commonly use during intubation of endotracheal intubation. Automated external defibrillator. Now, emergency management. Primary survey ABCDE: airway, breathing, circulation, disability, and expose. E for expose. Purpose: identification and treatment of immediately life-threatening problems. Secondary survey head to toe examination. Purpose: identification, treatment of immediately life-threatening problems. History: find quick source information. System-specific test and therapy. Re-evaluation, definitive care. Now we'll go over for another part, that is unconsciousness. First we will cover what are the possible causes of unconsciousness. These are vasodepressor syncope, drug administration, orthostatic hypotension, epilepsy, hypoglycemic reaction, acute adrenal insufficiency, acute allergic reactions, acute myocardial infarction, hyperglycemic reaction, and hyperventilation. Now we'll start with hypodepressor syncope. Now the definition is a sudden transient loss of consciousness that is usually secondary to a period of cerebral ischemia. The synonyms of syncope is atrial bradycardia, benign faint, neurogenic syncope, pyogenic syncope, simple faint, swoon, vasodepressor syncope, vasovagal syncope. Now predisposing factors are psychogenic factors and non-psychogenic factors. These factors are given below. Now men have higher chances of syncope as compared to women. Now pre-syncopal signs and symptoms are: early signs are feeling of warmth, pallor, heavy precipitation, feeling bad or faint, nausea, BP approx at baseline, tachycardia. Late symptoms are pupillary dilation, yawning, hyperpnea, coldness of hand, hypotension, bradycardia, visual disturbances, dizziness, loss of consciousness. Post-syncopal pallor, nausea. These are the post-syncopal symptoms. Now we will start with management. Stop the procedure as soon as possible. Patient placed supine with legs slightly elevated. We can call it as Trans-Dillenburg position. Muscular movements aids the return of blood from periphery. If thought necessary, oxygen may be administered using full face mask or nasal hood. An ammonia ampoule may be crushed and held under patient's nose. Postponed of dental procedures. Now syncope. Should follow the basic management steps. Step 1, definitive management. These are the steps of definitive management, which mainly consist of 6 points. Differential diagnosis: anxiety attacks, hyperventilation syndrome, hypoglycemia, epilepsy. Postural hypotension, also called as orthostatic hypotension, is the second leading cause of transient loss of consciousness. Definition is fall in systolic pressure of 20 mm of Hg or more upon standing. Postural hypertension results from a failure of baroreceptor reflex mediated increase in peripheral vascular resistance in response to positional changes. Predisposing factors are drug administration, inadequate postural reflexes, pregnancy, advanced age, venous defects in leg, Barrett syndrome of multiple sclerosis. Criteria for postural hypertension: these are the criteria. Now causes: addition diseases, physical exertion, starvation, chronic postural hypertension, also known as Scheidegger syndrome, multiple system atrophy, and CNS lesions. Now preventions: these are the points for preventions. Now management. Should follow the basic management step. First is definitive management. These are the definitive management steps. Now differential diagnosis: hemorrhagic shock, renal failure and dialysis, acute congestive cardiac failure, cardiogenic shock. Now we will cover acute adrenal insufficiency, a condition first recognized by Addison in 1844. It is an uncommon, potentially life-threatening and readily treatable condition. Cortisol, one of the glucocorticoid, a product of the adrenal cortex, helps the body to adapt to stress and is thereby extremely vital to survival. Hypersecretion of cortisol leads to Cushing syndromes characterized by buffalo hump on the back, raised BP, eosinopenia, lymphopenia. It's not a life-threatening situation. Cortisol deficiency, on the other hand, may lead to relatively rapid onset of clinical symptoms, quite possibly patient's death. Predisposing factors: the major predisposing factors in all cases in the lack of glucocorticosteroid hormones, which develop through the following mechanisms. These are the mechanisms given below. 5 mechanisms are there. Now management. The patient with acute adrenal insufficiency is an immediate danger because of glucocorticoid deficiency, depletion of extracellular fluid, and hyperkalemia. Treatment is based on the prompt correction of these conditions. Now conscious patient. These are the treatment procedures. Terminal dental therapy. All 6 procedures should be used. Unconscious patient. These are the 3 procedures. Now respiratory distress. First is airway obstruction. There are a wide variety of objects and materials that are recovered from throat and stool specimens after they had been accidentally swallowed. Incidence has increased manifold due to sitting dentistry. Preventions: rubber band dam can be used. Use of floss, oral packing. If foreign body enters oropharynx while treating the patient in supine position, don't allow him to sit up. Instead, chair should be further reclined. If not seen, radiograph of chest and abdomen are advised. If located, appropriate medical specialty consultation must be sought. This chart can be helpful in understanding complete airway obstruction thing. Now, if we got complete airway obstruction, inability to breathe, inability to speak, inability to cough, patient grasp at their throat, choking sign, partial obstruction with good airflow. With poor exchange. Now management: stop the procedure. Still obstruction, proceed to establish an emergency airway. It could be non-surgical, it could be surgical. Non-surgical could be back blows, abdominal thrust, chest thrust. Surgical could be tracheostomy or cricothyrotomy. These are the things we can go for. Finger sweep and tongue jaw lift for unconscious, unresponsive victim. Not indicative for responsive or seizure patient. Tongue jaw lift maneuver. It could be also said that it is a tongue jaw lift maneuver. Hyperventilation. In hyperventilation, there is increase in the both frequency or depth of respiration or both. Anxiety is the most common predisposing factor. Clinical signs and symptoms: chest tightness, feel of suffocation, feeling of dizziness and lightheadedness, palpitation, tachycardia. Muscular teaching, cramps and convulsions. Management, stop the procedure. Position should be patient should be in upright position. Reassure the patient and tell patient to breathe slowly and regularly, 4 to 6 times breaths per minute. Correction of respiratory alkalosis, not to administer oxygen. Bronchial asthma. It could be defined as it is a chronic inflammatory disorder that is characterized by reversible obstruction of the airway. Here we can appreciate how asthma attacks happens. Trachea, there is constriction of bronchioles. Here we can see normal bronchioles, and here we can appreciate asthmatic bronchioles, which are constricted as compared to normal bronchioles. Clinical signs and symptoms: feeling of congestion in chest. These are the clinical signs and symptom points. Now management: stop the procedure. Make the patient sit with arms through forward. Administer oxygen and albuterol inhaler. Hydrocortisone sodium succinate 100 mg intravenous. Dental treatment consideration: use stress reduction protocol. Advise the patient to carry his or her personal inhaler. Seizures: paroxysmal disorder of cerebral function characterized by an attack involving changes in the state of consciousness, motor activity or sensory phenomena. Convulsion and seizures are synonyms. Epilepsy, a chronic brain disorder of various etiologies characterized by recurrent seizures due to excessive discharge of cerebral neurons. Status epilepticus, condition in which seizures are so prolonged that recovery does not occur in between attacks. Tonic-clonic, these are other two types of seizures which are given below. Now predisposing factors: anxiety, hunger, menstruation, alcohol, external stimuli, flashing lights, etc. Non-compliance with medication. Now management: stop dental treatment, remove all equipment and materials, protect patient from injury, gently restrain the movements, do not place anything in the oral cavity, loosen tight binding cloths, monitor vital signs if continues for more than 5 minutes. Administer diazepam 5 to 10 mg intravenously, 50% dextrose. Now conclusion: the ultimate aim is management of emergencies, preservation of life, to keep the victim alive and treating him until recovery of or until other qualified person takes cover. References: Medical Emergencies in Dental Office, Stanley F. Malamud, Contemporary Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, Peterson. Internet reference google.com. Thank you.